Welcome back again. The CR500 got to see the daylight again about a month ago. I've been diddling with a few parts that are on it and collecting some things for it along the way to make sure that I've got what I need to put this thing together. But in the best interest of having videos that are uploaded more frequently, what I'm going to start doing is doing micro updates. And what that means is I'm going to start putting up a smaller, easier to upload videos with less editing. It makes it easier for me and it gives you guys, the viewers, what you want. You want to see more videos, you want to see more updates, that will give you what you want. So these videos are going to be probably much more frequent unless it's a big project type thing where I'm doing, like, I don't know, a brake job or an engine swap. Those are the videos that I will make a longer video out of. But for the most part, we're going to do micro updates, and I think that's what we're going to see how that works out. So thumbs up if you like my videos. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Ring the little bell that's next to it. That lets you get updates every time that I upload a video. You'll know right away. So please and thank you. I hope you guys enjoy this and watch the rest of the video. I mess up in this one, so enjoy. Well, I don't believe it myself, but I've promised it to you guys, and I've promised it to you guys, and I've promised it to you guys. But look at it. It's the old CR500. But yes, it actually does see the daylight once in a while, and I actually haven't turned a wrench on this thing in, probably about a year or two. But I had a brainstorm of a couple of problems that I almost forgot that I had a problem with. I couldn't figure out how I wanted to mount the rear set on here. And for some reason I was way overthinking it. I thought I wanted to put the thing way the hell back here. Then I realized just how stupid that was just recently. I'm like, well, why was I thinking so dumb back then? It needs to be much further forward. And I think with a small modification to the frame and some offset spacers and some long bolts, I think I can get them mounted just fine right there. Rear sets were one of my bigger problems, because where was I going to put my feet? Sure, I could have mounted some stock foot pegs back on here, but that's boring. Who wants boring? Nobody wants boring. But there it is, it's dusty. This is from in the house dust, from where it was sitting in the corner in the spare bedroom. These tires still have never even been ridden on. I hope they're not dry rotted. They're actually a number of years old now, but they have been stored in the house, so for whatever it's worth, I might have kept them in better shape. Yeah, they actually look just fine. Yeah, they're just like new. The tires on the 250 are actually the same age, and look what's happening here. Yeah, I actually got a little dry rot forming close to the rim. Front tire doesn't have that problem, just the rear. Anyway, it doesn't appear to be dangerous yet, but I am going to have to deal with it. But we're working on this today, so let's see if we can get those rear sets mounted. Well, I took a little measurement between the mounting holes on the caliper, and it turned out that we were at a gap of right at about 75 millimeters. I think you can see that right there. Well, anyway, I went and looked at the webbing on the back side of this frame, and in between the webbing we have a perfect distance of 75 millimeters that I can get in there. So with the punch, I made 2 punched holes, and I'm going to drill 2 pilot holes through that, and then a couple of holes that are the same size as the bolts that we're going to be running through there. And I believe that should work out. This is a nice strong section of the frame. I am not cutting into any of the webbing. I'm just doing a little bit of drilling in some of the what would be the cosmetic part, just the outer. It actually feels like it's really thick. So I think with a really good sized washer on the back side, this should be plenty strong. This is good. I won't be doing any jumping on this bike. You know, it's not going to be an off-road bike, so even if it was a little softer than what the CR500 should have, I think it's going to be safe. Aluminum drill is so nice and easy. think that about gets it. Now I'm going to need to get some spacers and some long bolts here and fit this together and see how it works out. Well, I think this is going to work out just fine. Put that in there like that. Get our nut around the back side. Now, I don't have any of the spacers or the washers yet to attach all this stuff, but this actually looks really good. And I think, damn mosquitoes are just all over me. I think with a couple of adjustments here, actually I might be able to eliminate the spacers altogether. I might just use a washer in between the rear sets and the frame, just to stand it off, you know, by a couple millimeters. Yeah, I think this is going to work out real nicely. Alright, I'm going to go to the hardware store and pick up some parts and take some measurements on this side. Since this was kind of freestyle, that side needs to match. So I'm going to have to take measurements, of course, and make that work out. But we'll be back in a bit. Well, you've just watched the Duckman be a fucking moron, because watch this. No! Obviously that's not going to work. Spacers or not, yeah, that's not going to cut it. I thought I was overthinking this before, and that's why I didn't have a solution, but I completely forgot. The reason why I wanted to mount it back further was to clear the Kickstarter. It doesn't have to go much further back, just a couple inches. I'm still going to use those holes that I drilled. What I'll do is I'll create some kind of bracket in there to move the rear set backwards. Only a couple inches, just a few. I will make the brake pedal fold up. It needs to flip up and out of the way, so that way the kicker will clear it. And I think with just a few inches going back that way, it should be enough to do it. I don't see why not. I'm going to fab up a couple of brackets out of cardboard for like a template and get it mounted up temporarily that way and see if this will clear. And if everything looks like it's going to work, then I'll make it out of metal, finalize it that way, and I'll have to come up with a flipping pedal. And I think there actually are pedals that have some kind of a flipping mechanism on it. Because I think if I can get it just to flip in and then put a little collar over the end of it to keep it closed, I think the kicker will clear just fine. It doesn't have to clear by too much. And of course your foot is on this side of it, not over here, so that extra clearance shouldn't matter too much. Foot peg would be nice if it folds up, and actually it does. I just need to have a way to get it to stay up. And it needs a new peg on it anyway, but that's not a big deal. We can work on this. This is problems that can be worked around pretty easily. But this is the kind of things you deal with when you build a custom bike. So, you know, like for all my efforts, subscribe to my videos, guys. Hit that little bell that you see over here. I can never get this right. It's one of these two. It's probably going to be on this side. Hit the little subscribe and ding the bell for me. It gives you an update when I come back around to this thing. I'm going to fab up that bracket next and see what else I can come up with. We're going to make these updates much more frequent, and they're just going to be much smaller and shorter videos. So stay tuned. Thanks, guys.